Hey, Tracy Brinkman here. Welcome back to YourSuccessAtLast.com, your next edition of your web vlog. You know, what I decided I'm going to do with some of these vlogs is I'm going to start off with a quote. And I'm going to use other quotes and from other folks, but occasionally I'm going to throw in one of my own. Today, the quote is, "An unchallenged mind will rust quicker than unused iron." From Tracy Brinkman. Now, I'm not going to try and challenge your mind too much here. Rather, I want to feed it some for you today, and we're going to talk about influence. Over the course of your life, you have, and you're going to need to continue to influence the people around you. You'll want to influence them to see your point. Others, you'll want to have them execute a task or work for you, and still others, you might even want to have buy from you. Now, no one wants to be tricked into this or feel they've been taken advantage of. So how can you effectively, even sincerely, influence those around you without the risk of doing that? That's why we're here. I want to give you some tips on influencing others in a positive and sincere way. Start with number one. I'm going to give you the big meaty one right off the bat. I call this one the platinum rule. Now, we all know the golden rule, and it says, "Do unto others as you would have done unto you." I would urge you to take that up a notch and use the platinum rule. And the platinum rule says, "Do unto others as they would have done unto themselves." You see, one of the most effective ways of influence over anyone is to do something nice for him or her. That is why you're going to find many successful salespeople taking their prospects and their clients out to a meal, to a ball game, to some low-cost event. And here's what's even better is the really good ones, they're not even going to mention their products or services while you're at this event, whether it be a ball game or a meal. But rather, they're going to sit back and they're going to make small talk, they're going to pose questions, then they're going to sit back and they're going to listen. And they're going to listen to their clients and their prospects, their needs, their wants, their desires, things that motivate them, their passions. This is a way of building trust and establishing a friendly relationship. Finding a way to do nice things for someone because you want to, not because you want something out of it. This is going to do wonders, help you build your influence over them. Number two, see the person first. Very important. Most of the most influential people of today, they see the person first. Before seeing them as a client or as a prospect, they look upon them as a friend, an acquaintance, even a partner at times. These influential people, they look for ways to share helpful information to improve the lives of their new partners. They do so in ways not directly related to their products or services. This is a very key point. For instance, if they know one of their prospects, one of their partners, has a passion for baseball, and they come across an interesting web post or an article or even a little trinket, they'll send it on to their partner. It's a small example, but I think you get my point. They see the person first. They know what interests them. So find out what interests the people that you're trying to influence. Keep an eye out for how you can positively impact their life with this newfound knowledge. See, by sowing these seeds, you can, like those other influential people, reap the harvest, because those sown seeds eventually will trigger that partner's need to reciprocate, their desire to reciprocate, to give back to you. The next tip is called please and thank you. This comes from remembering growing up and your parents taught you to say please and thank you. Well, these words of kindness and general words of kindness still apply as you interact with those you wish to influence. You should continually be on the lookout for ways to say and do positive things for others. This ranges from things like, making positive comments on their attire and their appearance, to sending thank you cards and birthday cards, to something a little more elusive, but very impactful on your influence on others, is to do what you say. Be a man of your word. Be a woman of your word. Keep your promises and keep your confidences. This is going to further build that relationship of trust, sowing even more seeds for the future. The next tip is be a go-giver. Take a moment. Let's think about all those statues you've ever seen. The statues of the great man up on the horses and the horses riding high or just standing tall. Those faces on the side of Stone Mountain. Those faces on the side of Mount Rushmore. What were all those built for? Were they built for people who spent their lives worrying about what they could get from the world? Now, I would argue they were built to honor those that spent the majority of their time giving back to the world. Be like these impactful figures from our past. Be a go-giver. Continue to look for ways to do nice things for others. When you meet someone, you want to ask, and I say this literally, but figuratively as well, what is it I can do for you? Then honestly listen how you can give rather than get. Our next tip, last one for the day, sincerity and empathy. All in all, the more you are honestly open and empathetic to the needs of those around you, the more open to your positive influence they're going to be. Building your character and personality with a sincere and empathetic sensitivity will enable you to accomplish far more, far faster than you can ever dream. All of this may seem a little sideways, even backwards. I mean, Tracy, I want to get. Well, that's why I might say it's sideways or backwards. But the best way to get is to give. A heartfelt, positive giving will move you towards your greatest success, all the great success, all the great desires, and the life you deserve. I'm stumbling over my words here, but I think Zig Ziglar says it best when he said, you can have everything you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. And we'll leave you with a couple of exercises that help you move towards your success at last today. Here are 2 actions you can take now from these tips and ideas I just gave you. Number one, do something nice today. Look around for something you can do nice. I mean, you know enough people well enough to find one nice thing you can do. Find an article, tear it out, send it off to them, find it on the web, email it to them. Do something nice, whether it's for a friend, a family member, a prospect, or a customer. The more niceties you do for others, the more positive you're going to feel about yourself. And number 2, listen. Try listening today, okay? Take the time to really listen to those around you today. Now this includes your associates, your staff, even that nice person that serves you your coffee every morning. The more and the better you listen, the more and the better your influence will be. Until next time, think successfully.